here. So it is amazing, amazing, amazing. And as we came in here today, my wife and I, and we're looking at a pair of you in the elevator. I won't point you out. As you were looking at us, and I wasn't saying a word, and you were looking going. And the kind comments so many of you made that I look good, which, if you think about that, meant I looked like crap when I first worked with you. Because y'all go, you look really good. It's a sign of being older when everyone says, you look really good. Well, what did you expect me to look like? No, you really looked really good. What mustache? What are you talking? I don't understand. Gray. You turned it gray. There were flecks of gray in it. It went away quickly. When I left you guys and went to Hayfield as a subschool principal, I just said, well, I think it's time to change this around. And of course, they hadn't known anything different, so that was kind of the fun with that. And Dr. Sawyer, remember the assistant superintendent, one of the brainchildren of putting this whole program together, is now the superintendent in Stafford County Public Schools. I mean, it's not a very big toilet. I'm not kidding you. It's not very big. But you know, teaching this graduate class, one of the things I had to do was kind of remind them why we have certain programs. And I taught this book called A Nation at Risk, and it was a 1983 study on why schools were not successful. And you were Fairfax County's starting response to that book. I don't know whether you knew that or not. I mean, school board members all read it and said, we have to do something. And then when they started into it, the other jurisdictions said, well, we don't have enough money to do this, and you guys happen to have a building. And that's when they went down and beat on the then governor to make it a regional magnet school, which allowed the other jurisdictions in, which is how all that came about. And you were very much an experiment. Very much. Very much an idea that things would be different. And when you think about it, your existence changed the cycle of science being taught to now biology, chemistry, geosystems, physics. You changed the cycle in mathematics with an expectation of algebra, and now over 55% the students in the Commonwealth of Virginia take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. And, but you were the predicted death knell of the advanced placement program in all of the jurisdictions. If we open this school, no one will take AP classes, there'll be nobody left. And in Northern Virginia is the single largest utilization of AP courses in America. When you were all freshmen, there were 111,800 students in Fairfax County Public Schools, and this last year there's 165,800. Think it changed it a little? And then you look to see some of the things that are the same. And some of them are you, and the way you are, and how kind you were today, and how kind you are within each other, and some of the memories, and some of you don't remember some of the memories, as teasing the snot out of Matt Croft about kicking that field goal. And going on to Hayfield the next year, and being on the sideline as an assistant principal, and listening to the football coach saying to those kids, now I remember playing TJ. And we had 7 seconds left, and we let our guard down. And they kicked some god-awful field goal. When we lost the game, we'd already won, for God's sake. Now don't do that. And I'm sitting there going, I was there. The current coordinator of student activities, Bill Curran, was a player at Marshall when they lost, when you beat them, and then came back and lost to them in the regional. First time we went to the regionals in football in '89, and 88, '89, and that he still remembers that. Still remembers that game. It was just a dogfight, 23-17. Who remembers? So when I look back and see some of those things, and think about some of you and how, I don't know, unique. You were just real people. And you were, all you had to do was actually go to Mars, cure cancer. There were no expectations. Of course, so many of you I was upset with because we had that agreement out of the science fairs working on male pattern baldness, and I can tell you, I'm there, Eric, we were there, and I have to tell you, the problem is that I found out later those were all the liberal arts majors, so they just knew how to do a catchy slogan in order to get the judge's eyes and attention, but You really are a unique grouping. And I understand you had a very nice tour today at the place, and we're able to see that it doesn't look much different. August 17th, they start the renovation planning for a first true renovation of the school since we punched out the walls and built the place. Right, really. I mean, since we were moving the walls out in '86 and '87, building the tech labs and doing some of that stuff, the place really hasn't had much other attention placed to it, which is one of the reasons why I'm going there. Some of my background in working with building 2 schools in the county in my career, I think that's one of the reasons they were kind of interested in talking to me, and I was able to work out something in terms of the retirement, being retired and still being able to come back and work for them, and hopefully work it out to rake in millions. But not a capitalist, all of you know that. Those of you that I borrowed money from in the snack bar know that. But you know that because I didn't pay you back. Because a capitalist would have felt some kind of conscience. I had none. So it's different, but it is kind of fun to walk in there for that hiring interview and walk around and say, Mrs. Stead is there, Mrs. Diggs is there, and looking at some of them going, wow, this is going to be fun. I won't listen to anybody else, but it'll be fun. It'll just be one of those things where hopefully I can take back some of this and inject it back into them that are there. Evan Glazer, the principal's had me come and I've spoken to their leadership class that they have a couple times, and that's been interesting because I now sense a real urgency in them to get back to some of the older ways. It's kind of interesting to see that cycle, that they want to do more outreach, they're doing more things with schools and sharing knowledge and things like that. So listen, enjoy. Your lives are obviously going very well. For those of you that had promised me 5% of your gross income 5 years after you finish your last year of school, some payments are behind. I'm here tonight to talk to you about that. For those of you that you're just all so laid back with each other, it's amazing. You're just sitting there going, you even stopped at the bar. This is an amazing grouping. You didn't even do this during Impact. But I thought I had to tell you truthfully, the fun it was. After leaving you guys, it was a different kind of administration. Being an assistant principal and a principal, it's a different level of connection with students. You end up taking some of them out of the system, which needs to happen when they're that wrong, but is not the most fun thing you can possibly do. So you do think about some of those things maybe too much and forget some of these things, which are really what it's all about. So hopefully you will all have a better time now, and you will send money to the Jefferson Educational Foundation for the Field Improvement Program. Because one of the things Evan doesn't even know yet is I'm working to put a turf field up on an artificial turf field up on the football stadium. I think that would be a nice way of sitting there saying we value it. And you've seen their bumper stickers. I hope if you haven't, you've seen their bumper stickers that say, Jefferson, we came for the athletics. Gee whiz. So enjoy, and hopefully in about an hour everyone will turn off their cell phones and put away the cameras. Yeah, there's a shot at that. And nobody wants to see this on YouTube.
It won't.
Which, by the way, Jason was really kind when he put that piece up that we did on the tech labs and everything else, and he says, just want to tell you, we're not asking for permission. We've already put it up. We just thought, we tell you we did it out of self-defense. So, welcome to the class of 1989, Thomas Jefferson. So, you guys are amazing. You look really good. You look really good. Thank you very much.